Hello, everyone. Welcome back to class. This is Stephanie Ponteau. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Vision Church level 2 class. That's how you can contact me. And this is part 3 of the class for Monday, May 11th. I hope everyone is safe and well. And I hope you have been watching the videos and hopefully you're getting something out of it. That it is still, I know it's not the same as being in class, but I hope it's still helpful for you and at least, it's a guide for you continuing with your English learning and practice. So today's lesson, we're still in Unit 9 in the book. We're on page 112 and lesson B. And in this lesson, we're going to learn to make polite requests with can, could, will, and would. And we're also going to learn how to agree to and refuse requests politely. And basically, agree to means to say yes, and refuse means to say no. And there is a polite way to say no. And we're going to talk about that today. So this will be very helpful for you because I don't want you to feel like you've got to say yes to everything someone asks you to do in order to be nice and polite. Okay, but before we get into the lesson in the book, if we were in class, I would make some requests just as a way to get us started and warmed up. So I might walk up to Sharon and say, "Can I borrow a pencil today? I left my pen home." And then I might walk up to Ling and say, "Hey Ling, could I borrow your cell phone? My battery died." And then I might say, "Liz, will you give me a ride home today? My car broke down." And I might say, Shelly, would you call me tonight? I need to ask you something." So all those are polite ways to make a request. Okay, so we're going to practice that a little bit more. And you always want to add please at the end of a request. That's just a way to put the icing on the cake. That's like the best way to make any requests. Be polite to the person that you're making that request of. So the word please is like the magic word in the English language. When you're asking questions or you're making requests, which is asking someone to do something, ending it with the word please, the best thing you can learn. Okay. So let's look at page 112. All right, lesson B. Can you call a plumber, please? Grammar focus. Requests with can, could, will, and would. And I want to teach you one more way to make a request too. That's not in here, but I think it's good for you to know. And I'm going to add that up here. And it is would you mind if? Would you mind if? Uh-oh. So, like instead of saying, if I wanted to say, would you mind if I borrow your pencil? I could say that instead of, can I borrow your pencil? Could I borrow your pencil? I would say, would you mind if? Would you mind if I borrow your pencil for a moment? That's like, when you say, would you mind if, oh, I see this. You can't really see it that well. I'm going to rewrite this part, because I found out that my marker, depending on which direction I hold it, it either writes better or worse. So, would, trying to learn to write on the side instead of turning my back to you guys. I'm trying to remember to kind of get to the side and write. So, would you mind if? Okay, so that's another one, another way of saying it. This is like really polite. Would you mind if? Can I borrow your pencil? Would you mind if I borrowed your pencil for a few minutes? When you say, would you mind if, you're really being considerate, you're saying, I don't want to bother you, but. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get started. Page 112. All right, so if you look on page 112, it says use can, could, will, or would before the base form of the verb to request help. Use short answers to say yes or no politely. Now, the last lesson, lesson A, we were talking about solving problems. And sometimes you've got to ask for help to solve problems. So this lesson, lesson B, we're going to learn how to ask for help in a very polite way. Okay, so of course we always have the grammar, the animated grammar lesson that you can pause the video and watch it on your own, because if I play it on my phone and try to hold it up, you really can't see it that well. So it makes more sense. And I want to encourage you to do it, because those animated grammar lessons that's always next to the grammar chart, they're really good. They do a really good job of going over what's in this chart. So if you want to really be in a good place for this lesson, pause the video and watch this animated grammar chart. So you can pause and then come back, and then I'll be continuing on. All right. So questions and short answers is what's in this grammar chart. So let's read this together. Can you call a plumber, please? Nice, short, polite answer. Sure, I'd be happy to. Could you call a plumber, please? Yes, of course. Okay, so those are two very polite ways to say yes, which is to agree. Agree in saying yes. All right, so the next two questions. Will you call a plumber, please? No, not now. Maybe later. Refuse when you say no. So that was a polite way to refuse. All right. Last question in the grammar chart. Would you call a plumber, please? Sorry, I can't right now. That's another polite way to refuse a request. So you don't always have to say yes to be polite, okay? So this is really good information, because all of you guys are very nice and polite. And I want you to know that there is a nice and polite way to say no when you need to. Because sometimes people ask you things you don't want to do. And that's something that I've learned in the last few years. Okay, so exercise 2. You're going to practice this. All right, so let me just read. Hold on one second here. Okay, all right. So practice. It says, write. Complete the conversations. Use what or where and the simple past. All right, so we've got 8 pictures of some problems that you could have in your home. And we are continuing with the idea of the lady back on page, I think 110. What was her name? I forgot. Stella. Yes. So Stella, these are all the problems that I think you could have in your home if your apartment or your home where you need to call someone. All right. So picture number 1 is fix the dryer. Number 2 is unclog the sink. And have you heard of when a sink is clogged? Yeah, you can see it. When the sink is clogged, it means there's something in the pipe that's keeping the water from draining out properly. And that was the problem that I had last week when I had to call the plumber. The tub was clogged. It was a whole bunch of hair. So when he cleaned it out, that's what it was. That was keeping the water from flowing, a whole bunch of hair. All right, so picture 2 is unclog the sink. Picture 3, clean the carpet. Picture 4, repair the oven. Picture 5, fix the lock. Number 6, fix the window. You see it's broken. Picture 7, repair the dishwasher. And picture 8, change the light bulb. All right, so we are going to practice using can, could, will, and would to ask polite questions to get these things fixed. Okay, so number 1, they have done for us like they always do. All right. Oh, wait, before we do that, hold on 1 second. Okay, all right. So before we actually do lesson 2A, exercise 2A, there's another practice thing I'm supposed to do with you, so sorry about that. All right, so I'm going to ask you some questions similar to the questions that were in the grammar chart. You have a broken dishwasher and no telephone. That's a tough situation. What can you ask your neighbor? So you have a broken dishwasher and no telephone. What can you ask your neighbor? So you can go and knock on your neighbor's door. You can say, "Excuse me, my name is Stephanie. I live next door and I don't have my phone. Can I use your telephone to call the plumber to fix my dishwasher?" Okay, that's something you can ask your neighbor. Or you could say, "Can you call the plumber for me, please?" You can ask your neighbor if they would look up a plumber and call them for you. Or if you took my advice and purchased a home warranty, you could ask your neighbor, "Can you call my warranty company for me? My dishwasher is broken." So you could say could. Let's say if your microwave stopped working or one of your appliances, you're probably going to need an electrician. So what can you ask your neighbor in that case? Yep, you can use either one of these. Can you call the electrician for me? Could you call the electrician for me? Or this one, would you mind if I use your phone to call the electrician? So you can use can, could, will, or would. Will you call? Would you call the electrician for me? Or you could ask, would you mind if? Would you mind if I used your phone? Would you mind calling the electrician for me? Okay, those are all ways you could make those polite requests. Okay, all right. So now we're going to practice using exercise 2A. Okay, so I'm going to erase all that's up here and I'm going to write the answers for 2A on the board. All right. All right, so number 1, they have done for us like they always do. Could you fix the dryer, please? And this is a way to agree, right? You say, yes, of course. Number 2, and we're looking at picture 2 to create that question. So what's the problem in picture 2? Okay, we have a clogged sink. So if the sink is clogged, you need someone to unclog it. So the question in 2 is, can you unclog the sink, please? Please at the end of any request is the best thing you can say. Please, like I said, it's a magic word. Please and thank you. Those are magic words in the English language. All right, so can you unclog the sink, please? The answer, no, not now, maybe later. That's your polite way to say no or to refuse. Number 3, what's going on in that picture? Okay, that's the picture with the carpet. Would you clean the carpet, please? Oh, I said I was going to write these down, didn't I? Okay, so number 3 is, would you clean the carpet? And what's the magic word when you're making a request? Please. Yes. Okay. Can't really see this part. Hold on. There you go. Okay, that's better. Oh, the W. Can't really see that either. All right, there we go. Okay, number 4. Okay, so that's a problem with the repair. The oven needs to be repaired, okay? Will you repair the oven, please? Okay, we always got to have that magic word at the end. Okay, 5. What's going on in that picture? Okay, the lock. Will you fix the lock, please? And the answer was, no, not now, maybe later. A polite way to say no or to refuse. Okay. Number 6. What's going on in that picture? Oh, the window. Okay. Could you fix the window, please? All right. Number 7. I don't know if I'm going to have room for everything. Oh, yeah, I will. 7. What's in that picture? Okay, that picture is a problem with the dishwasher, right? Would you repair the dishwasher, please? Or you can say fix. That's a shorter way to say it. Fix and repair is the same thing. So repair equals fix. So I'm going to use the shorter word to save time for myself. Would you fix the dishwasher, please? So fix and repair is the same. Means the same thing. All right. And what was the answer to that request? The response was, sure, I'd be happy to. Now that's a very nice way to agree to do something. And then 8, what's the problem there? The light bulbs. Okay. Can you change the light bulb, please? Can you change the light bulb, please? All right. So all those were polite requests. And number 8, their response was a polite way to refuse or say no. Sorry, I can't right now. But if you are a landlord, if you say you can't right now, you need to tell the person when you can, because it's their responsibility to fix it for you. So anyway, that is our lesson. Page 112, lesson B. And that was that was part 3 of our class. And I am going to assign a couple more pages of homework just so that we don't get behind in Unit 8. So I'm going to write the homework right up here. And we'll just do 2 pages since I had that other homework that I assigned. And we'll do page, how about 102 and, hold on, let me look at, do I have my workbook here? Hold on one second, guys. Oh yeah, I got it. Look at my workbook real quick. 102, yeah, that'll start us in Unit 9. 102, how about 102? Yes, ooh, yes, 102 to 104. How about that? Okay, 102 to 104. Awesome. So we'll go over that in our, actually, I am assigning this too early. Yeah, you'll have a little extra time to get this done. Okay, all right. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next class. Take care and be safe. Bye. Don't forget to leave a comment in YouTube.